Hi everyone, it's PhDSimmer here and welcome back to another Sims 4 makeover video, and today we are making over the Caliente family. So we've got Katrina, Nina, Dina and Don Lothario. I found it quite amusing when I first got The Sims 4 that Don was living with these three because he's clearly romantically involved with Katrina, yet we all know from The Sims 2 days that he also dates Nina and Dina. Gosh, these names get confusing. So when I first got The Sims 4, I was so pumped to see the Caliente sisters back because I loved them from The Sims 2 days. But I did find it quite amusing that Don's living with them, and then you've got Katrina, who is their mother, which I find very strange because I think that timeline is slightly different. I'm sure their parents from The Sims 2 had different names, and I'm sure there's some sort of, isn't there some sort of alien blood in these two somewhere? I'll have to go and do some research, but I'm pretty sure they might be like a quarter alien or something like that. I love the fact that they've got these big bright green eyes. I didn't want to touch their eye colour, or I try not to play around too much with their facial features or their body shapes or anything like that. I did just adjust a few things just for my own personal preference, but I tried not to mess about with them too much. I wanted them to still look like the Calientes, but glam them up a little bit and spice them up a little bit. So obviously we have Katrina first of all, and she's got the lovely bright red hair. So her daughters Nina and Dina, neither of those have the exact same hair colour as her. I think well, obviously Nina's is slightly got more of a orange in it, and Dina's is yellow. Gosh, I'm sorry if these names are getting all mixed up. Hopefully you know what I mean. So I didn't really want to play around with their hair colours too much or their eye colours, but the main thing I think that changed their face is the eyebrows. The eyebrows were so bad. We'll get to it in a moment, but you can see when we get to Nina, her eyebrows are so fierce. She looks really angry, and although I think, yes, she is a fierce sim, I didn't want her to look that scary. So also I felt like Dina in The Sims 4 seems to be quite innocent looking. She looked quite youthful. I didn't play around with her face too much. She's got quite a heart-shaped face. I just changed her jawline, which you can see on the screen now, slightly, but she looked a lot more innocent than I remember her from The Sims 2, and I kind of kept that. She looks a lot younger than her twin, but I played off that vibe. I gave her some freckles. She looks a lot more innocent, but we all know that she is not, because I remember in The Sims 2 days she was a bit of a gold digger. She was after more to a goth. I think she was already widowed to some guy. I had a quick scan on the Sims 4 wiki, and it was talking about how Dina used to be married to a guy called Michael, and he died as an elder, and she was still a young adult or an adult in The Sims 2. So clearly she's got an innocent exterior, but there's a lot more underneath. So she definitely looks a lot younger. But I really enjoyed her makeover. Like I said, I tried not to mess around too much with their facial features. You'll see a side-by-side comparison at the end of this video, and hopefully you can see that I haven't sort of played around too much. But yeah, leave your memories of the Caliente sisters down below. Did you have The Sims 2? Did you play them? Did you play them when they appeared as a bonus in The Sims 3? I think they came with Barnacle Bay, if you got that DLC. But I played with the Caliente sisters a lot. They were always gold diggers. They were always messing up my married Sims. They were tempting away my Sims husbands. I always had a very family playstyle, so I always had married couples and lots of kids, but I always brought in a little bit drama, and I always used the Caliente sisters. That always amused me. I found myself when I was making over Dina, which you probably can see, I was going for like yellow seemed to be a theme that I kept picking. Yellow and lilac I kept picking for her. I don't know why, I just felt like it suited her quite a lot. But we're going to move on to her sister in a minute, and I honestly think Nina looks really a lot older in this. Like, here's the eyebrows. But yeah, she looks a lot older. I probably played around with Nina's facial features the most. Her lips I felt were a bit too pursed, and her eyebrows a bit too severe, and her eyes were a little bit, I wasn't happy with the way those look, so I probably changed her face the most. I just felt like she didn't quite look right and she looked a lot older. So I noticed with Nina though, she has a lot, her jawline's a lot stronger. She doesn't have that sort of heart-shaped face like her sister does, but I did try to make her look a little bit more youthful. She's got a lot more heavy makeup on, so that probably ages her a little bit. But yeah, her hair is not quite as red as her mother's. It's more like a dark orange sort of colour, but I did give her some really bold lipstick and some slightly more darker eyeshadow. I think of the two sisters, actually, Dina used to be my favourite. I remember in The Sims 2, she wore like a black dress and she had like long blonde hair, and I always remembered she was the one who came in and mucked up my family. She was always like, suddenly got interested in the patriarch of my families when they had a little bit of money behind them. She was always very much a gold digger. And I'm pretty sure I always had the affairs involving them, and I also did play them on their own and had the whole drama with them both dating Don Lothario. That was always a lot of fun for me when I was younger. Like, I swear I used to play The Sims 2 like a soap opera. I was completely addicted to The Sims 2 when it first came out, and these sisters hold a lot of nostalgia for me. So I'd love to hear what your memories are, if indeed you ever did play The Sims 2. I recently got a copy of The Sims 2 Complete Collection from EA for free, which is awesome. If you don't know how to do this, then all you've got to do is go onto EA's website, go to their live chat help sort of service, and just ask them, and they'll ask you a few questions. And I just told them that, like, I used to own every single pack, I played it to death, I don't have the discs anymore, and I really want to get back into The Sims 2. And they gave me a complete collection for free, so do try it. I mean, I know it doesn't work for everybody, but I've spoken to a couple of people through DMs on Twitter, and they've been successful as well. So I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple of YouTube videos talking about how to request it and how to get it, and it's not available on Origin at the moment, so they will actually add it to your Origin library. And since I got that, I have played it to death. You can download obviously because it's a very old game and a lot of laptops and PCs now are much better in terms of graphics quality, so it does screw the game up a little bit, but you can download like a program that will fix that for you, so you can play The Sims 2 to your heart's content. And as soon as that music loaded up, I was in heaven. I was in nostalgic heaven. And yeah, I hope you guys can get a copy and enjoy it. If you haven't played the Caliente sisters before, go and get Sims 2 and go and do it, because it is a lot of fun. So that's the end of the video. I'm just going to show you a couple of side-by-side comparisons, and I'll see you in the next part. Bye guys!